Good day, my friends. Good day. Today is St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Now, I am torn between two lovers. No, I'm torn. Here's my green. First, there's nothing that annoys me more than a bunch of virtue signaling, phony, Patty Irish. I'm Irish, I'm Irish. It drives me nuts. You're not Irish. No, my name, I don't care if it's Finnegan, Callahan. It doesn't matter. Your name, first of all, you're an American, most people, but your name you don't know the first thing about the Irish, about their traditions. You don't know anything about that. Nothing. You know nothing about them. But but today you're, all right. Everybody wants to be, now listen, this is what today's subject is. Tradition is wonderful, but the phonies out there. But then again, I'm thinking, well, look, at least they're happy about something. Okay, fine, be happy. But the phonies, oh my God, the phonies are just, they're everywhere. And it's a balance. And this has been all my life. I'm saying, why are we doing this? Because we're told to do it. I remember going through this when I was a kid, whether it's Christmas and birthdays. Why are we singing? As long as I can remember, I would say, is there anything that we won't do in the name of tradition? Is there anything? There's some great quotes. Lemony Snicket. Just because something is traditional, is no reason to do it, of course. Well, maybe. Tradition becomes our security, and when the mind is secure, it is in decay. Oh, wait a minute. I like Gustav Mahler said, tradition is not the worship of ashes, but the preservation of fire. I like this. The less there is to justify a traditional custom, the harder it is to get rid of it. So it's a balance. And I'm the only person today talking about this. Nobody dares talk about this. And I realized this is me. I've been like this my whole life. I can argue the point, but I'm not going to be in a position to do something unless I really want to. And New York, you have St. Patrick's Day in New York. Oh my God. You don't know what it was like. You don't know what it was like. We had a place, it's since closed. It was an Irish pub, but it was more than that. It was one of the best restaurants ever. The food was incredible. It was a party all the time. It's not like what's his name? Eddie Murphy. It was a party all the time. You know, when you would say, hey, we're going to a birthday party this Saturday. Okay. And you go in and, hey, I'll go down, and it picks up. Then around 9 o'clock, people are feeling loose, and okay. Imagine you could just go and walk in, and anytime you walked in, it was a party. I know it sounds extreme, and people expected you to be like that. And nobody would say, hey, isn't this, they never knew anything about, isn't this a little early to be starting? What? What are you talking about? This one, there was a place in New York years ago called we had the Blarney Stone, but this is the Blarney Rock. It was right by the Garden, right down the street from Madison Square Garden. Right there. And they would open, I wasn't in there at the time, mind you, but they opened like at 7 o'clock, and they had iron workers and people who would be on high rises, and they'd come they're doing Boilermakers and shots, and they're walking in with their hats and so there was a tavern, a wild saloon. I never saw this before. Never saw it. It was incredible. It was another world. I don't suggest you get into it, but what I'm saying is it was crazy. And they never offered any apologies for this whatsoever. I mean, just... And St. Patrick's Day, a week, this one place, they would come in from all over the world. And there was a Holiday Inn down the street that they would go to. Now it's a... And they're all dead. Virtually everybody that I know from that time, they're all dead. It's all gone. And then COVID hit, of course, and we didn't have that. You go to this one bar, this one place I'm talking about. You walk in, and all the chairs were gone, and the sky is gray. And the chairs are gone. No glass. You had plastic glass, which is an oxymoron. And it would take you 20 minutes just to get, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, coming through, and you would just be going like this. You wouldn't be moving. You would just be churning like this. I said, why am I not moving? Because you're doing thrusts. You're not moving. Excuse me, pardon me, and unbelievable. I saw this. I don't know if kids today would even understand what this was. They partied. Do kids do this? I mean, people would just... And then, when you couldn't get through, we say, isn't there a fire hazard? Fire hazard. No, don't you think, isn't there a number? What are you, crazy? Daft to the Mickey? No, no, Colin. No, Des. I'm just saying that. And then when there would be no room, there would be this bagpipe and and I said, where the hell are they supposed? And they'd make it. I'm thinking, how did they do this? It was almost like the clowns in the car. It was incredible. And then, of course, the Irish from Donegal or from Galway or whatever. Irish, I didn't really know them when I was growing up, but I knew these. And most of them, I'm sorry to say, not most of the Irish, but the people that I knew, were fine. Some, I had no idea what they were saying. We had one guy we called Thomas the Pirate. He always sounded like a pirate. Arr, aye. And what are you saying? Arr, arr, making noise. Then we had the people, we had the famous Irish who thought they were Dylan Thomas. They thought everything they said was brilliant. There's one guy, Thomas, another Thomas. He drove me crazy. Because everything you'd say, he'd have a retort, as though he's brilliant. Hi, Thomas. How are you today? Well, I'll tell you what. It depends what you mean. How are you? How are you? RST? Is that a letter or is that a question? And today is merely yesterday, tomorrow. I said, would you stop it? You're not brilliant. This is nonsense. So I would come back with him and he'd get mad. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go right now. I'm going to take a leak. You must say a piss. Piss of the Mickey. No, it's a loo. Who's Lou anyway? Lou, Lou. Skip to my Lou. Is that what it is? Skip. Is it a skip or is it a hop? That's the way. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. There's a Lou. And I would just do this word, these whatever it was. I didn't know what people meant was this. One guy says, you're pissed. I didn't know what that meant. I thought it meant like angry. No, I'm not. I think you are. I'm not. Yes, sir. Why would I be? Why would you be? What are you doing? What? Why would you be? Why would I be pissed? What are you talking? What? Oh, I think he's pissed. I've been sitting next to him. He's fine. Nobody told me. Oh, he's daft to the Mickey. I don't know what that means. Sometimes it was, you could kind of figure it out. I didn't realize the word partner was such a big... Partner meant... I didn't know. Partner meant girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. People say, that's my partner. Oh, hey, great. Aye. I told you that. Aye. Am I supposed to say aye? Aye. He's saying aye. Why is he saying aye? Aye. And I'm saying back too, what is this? What are we doing here? Aye. And I don't know what. I don't know what we would talk. We would be talking about this, and I told you the best one ever, and I've got to tell you the best, the best. And everybody in if we went to, I don't care if you went to any Irish bar, especially the old timers, and on the west side, Druids, which was the Sunshine. This is where the butcher Eddie. I can tell you one great story before I forget. This one there, it was that guy. The best one ever is this one who said, "This one there, man there, you say that you said your man there was Joe Biden." And I'd love to put him on, I always want to put him on like talk radio and have him say something. But he would know what I was doing. But he would say, for example, I'll tell you what today was on to your man there, Joe Biden, with the Kamala Harris. He's come here, from the FBI with a one day. No way, no, for Christ's sake. What the? I don't know. Whatever. So there was a story years ago. I got to tell you the best story ever. This is the best story I think I've ever heard. Guy first came in to town. Now, at the time, listen carefully, there was in the west side, there was these things called the Westies. Have you ever heard about the Westies? There's a lot of talk about the, the mob. There's all these mob shows, but the Westies, Featherstone, Coonan, McCluskey, Beatty, and there were loads of them. All on the west side in Hell's Kitchen. All of them. The stories, and a lot of them were pretty much gone or in prison at the time I was there. But there was, but before, just like at the tail end, in the 70s, they ran this place. And drugs pretty much got them. But while they were still moving, there was a guy named, his nickname was, well, I'll just leave it at that. He might have some relatives around. I don't know. So, my friend, this one there is him. He was working at this bar, and this the owner says, "Tell you what, do me a favor. See the one there, your one. Now you know what the one is, right? I didn't know this. Your man. You know your man. Your man Truman. My man means that guy. Now, she, the woman, the girl, whatever, it's your one. Like, I saw her the other day. I saw your one the other day. I don't even know her. It doesn't matter. It means her. Don't worry about it. I didn't know this at first. Your man. You know your man. Your man, Charles Manson. What? My man? Because I always thought there's some kind of an affinity. No, it just means him. Okay. So he tells her, tell you what, see your one there? It's all right. Where's your? Hey, the bar. It's all right. He's a hooker. What? He's a hooker. It's a family place. It was Northern Ireland. Place in your face, in your mace, It's a family place. Get rid of her. He says, who? Which one? Your one. Now, there's a bunch of people. He should have said, the woman with the red, he should have been a little bit more specific, but he didn't. He thought he knew. And he wants to do a good job. He just got it from Ireland. This is years ago, obviously. Everybody I'm talking about now is no longer with us, I think. So he walks up and he says, "Hey, let's go, this one. Grab your stuff. Let's go. Get out of here." She says, "What?" "Grab your stuff. Get the hell out of here. There's no family place. This one, no, your waist. Come on, go. She says, "I beg your pardon." If that does it, grabs her bag, grabs her, says, "Open the door," drags her out, throw her, but pushes her, takes her bag, "Get out of here. It's a family place." The one that there's, and of course she said, "What?" Anyway, so she left. He sits back down. He goes back. The owner comes back. He says, "I thought I told you to get rid of her." He said, "What?" "This one, your one." He goes, "No, not your one, your one." He said, "Who's the one?" I'm not going to do the voice. He goes, "Well, who did I throw out?" And he said, "You didn't throw out the woman next to her, did you?" And he realizes, uh-oh. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. Do you know who that was? Now, this is not good. When somebody says, do you know who that was? It was supposedly, the story goes, the wife of the most feared member of this august organization called the Westies. So the story goes. And he said, they told him, you're going to leave. We'll give you the money. Get on a plane, go back. He said, but his dream was to come here. His dream, doesn't matter. You're going. Because that guy, okay. He figures that's the end of it. And he said, isn't there can we talk to anybody? No. One day, as he was kind of there at the place, who walks in but the husband of the wife that he threw out, alleging she was a lady of the evening. His face, they said there was no blood. He exsanguinated. It was just... So he came in, he says, wait, hold it. It's okay. Everything's okay. Because he knew his reputation, and he knew what this poor guy was going through. He goes, no, everything's fine. Please, sit down. Let me buy you a drink. He says, I just want you to do me one thing. He says, I'll do anything for you. He goes, no. Tell me what she looked like. Tell me the expression on her face. Don't leave anything out. He thought it was the funniest thing that he ever heard. But from that 1 day or 2 days or whatever it was, the stories. One time I was there, and there was another one there, and my friend says, you know who that is? You know who that is? I said, don't look. He said, you know who that is over there? You know who that is? I said, I can't look. Don't look. That's, I'll make up a name. Eddie Callahan. Don't look. I said, I don't know. He goes, whatever you do, don't bring it up. I said, don't bring up what? Don't bring up the fact who he is. He says, who is he? Don't look at him. All right. So I figure he must be one of the, This guy comes over so nice. He looks like this cherubic grandfather. And we're talking. And my friend, this fellow has his back to. He goes, so he says, nice to meet you. I said, hi, I'm Lionel. What is your name? Don't ask him your name. I said, how can you not ask the man his name when you're introduced? He goes, all right. So before you know it, he says to me, this grandfatherly type, he says, well, years ago I found this out. We're talking about law or something. He goes, well, when I was in prison, I said, prison? So my friend says, don't talk about it. I said, I'm not talking everything. This man told me everything within the first 5 seconds. His name, he was in prison, what he was in prison for. And I'm like this. I'm trying to act like I don't hear it. I'm not listening. I don't care. Oh my God, the stories. A great, I shouldn't mention, I don't mention names of people, but there's a lot of folks that, I don't want to mention their names, but you would know who they were. I will tell you this much. One night there was a person who I think you know him. He says, come here, I want to show you something. Now we're in the back. I said, is this really important? He says, this is important. I said, okay, so I walked all the way to the front. And they were going to an event. It was a premiere. And there was a light right there, like the Irish pub kind of a decor, this light. And underneath the light, where the light is causing any wrinkle you have just looks like this because of the shadows. Underneath the light, I walked right out. And there he was, under this light, Keith Richards. under this light that makes everything look like it was burned in my mind. I've never seen anything like this. Like, oh my God. Not attractive lighting. Nice. Oh, I mean, no talk. That's when New York was, you never knew who you were going to talk to. I did talk to Peter O'Toole one time about the movie Hannibal. I just saw the movie Hannibal. This is with Ray Liotta. And I was discussing him. There was this one part about this cannibalization of brain tissue. And I said, it's funny. I said, I was thinking that if they're in Wernicke's or Broca's area, if he's basically ablating, and I'm talking to Peter O'Toole about what would happen if you were to remove tissue from the brain that affected speech and aphasia. He thought that was the most fascinating thing in the world. Yeah. I said, are there technical advisors there? Carol O'Connor, nicest man in the world. Ann Mira, remember Stiller Mira? Wonderful. Just who was it? Rod Stewart's band would come in. This one guy in particular. It was when New York was so great. And everybody, the worst thing you could do was to act like you cared about somebody. Where you would, say, can I have your autograph? You would be, it's like, who can be more uninterested? That's the thing that was wonderful. On St. Patrick's Day, in particular. And those days are gone. That's just gone. So today, the largest, I think it's going to be 2 million. It's what was it, 1762 was the original St. Patrick's Day. At first, I didn't want to, now I have Irish. My mother would say, you're Irish. I said, I'm not Irish. I know he was named with that, but I don't know that. I've never been to Ireland. I can do Ireland. There's certain accents. And by the way, this one, that one, I can go to places, and I'm telling you, if the owner is old enough, he's been around for a while, he knows who I'm talking about. These Jimmy Neary on 57th Street. What was his face? What was Jimmy Neary's place? Neary's. Yeah, Neary's. There was Neary's, Kennedy's, Desmond's. Then it was Druids. Faces and name. There were so many. Armstrong's. Now it's a bagel place. That was famous. And an Irish pub. Gallagher's, which is just more of a steak place, but still, Walter Cronkite was always there. There was such I want to tell you, I want to use words like magic. When Rudy Giuliani came in and took place, there was never crime. Nobody worried about anything. Nothing. And it was just, I wish I could take you there. It was really, really something. I hope it returns. But as people now are talking, I wear a green, okay, because we need tradition. Don't let it go. I've got friends of mine from parts of the world, they love St. Patrick's. They don't know what the hell they're talking. They don't know who St. Patrick is, but they love it. I said, this is about as American, and everybody, somebody someday will find it objectionable. I don't know. I'm trying to think how, using my twisted logic, how would somebody find that to be objectionable? The Irish music. Have you ever heard the Corrs? Oh my God, fantastic. What they went through, the Irish, especially around the time of the Troubles. And I hate it's not racist. I don't want to use that word, but this gratuitous, hey, yody, hoody, shiver me timber, captain's on the way, and I'm in it. Stop this. Barry Fitzgerald, oh, hello, Father. How are you? How about a potato? Don't do that. They don't. Lucky Charms, and I like it too. No, Irish Spring, manly, yes, but I like it too. Hey, yody, hoody. I hate that. The Irish are just beautiful, and the sounds, and you can always tell north and south. Absolutely complete. Jerry Adams, on the mothers. I saw with John Hume one time, Phil Coulter, all these great, oh my, what these folks have been through, and there's just, they're incredible. I love them. Funny, but as you know, as different and as, I'm going to say the word beautiful, but the way we just lump them together. How would you lump an American? If you went to Ireland and you had to do a movie about an American, what American would you pick? What? New York? Texas? Montana? How about Utah? Would that be a good representation? What is representative of the United States? What? I don't know. Think about this. What? Oh, Father Ted was wonderful. Father Ted was great. This movie with the one with Colin Farrell, that's all right. But I got to tell you something. These folks who came here in New York, many of them came. They got on in the old days, a boat. They made great lives for themselves. Many of them were on boats. The Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen this, the Queen that. They had folks. They worked together. They had their own bankers. They would have, when you came here, you went to see this one. A lot of folks do. The Polish have it. They would help you either to get a loan or to help you out. They really stuck together. And they were the most profoundly patriotic Americans you've ever seen. One of the funniest ones, my friend Johnny, who got his citizenship, and Johnny would, not only did he have a hard time, so remember, there are people I've never had a conversation with, but he had something with his voice, or so I don't even know. I can imagine him in court. Your Honor, state your name for the record. Oh, wow. We're off to a bad one. And the night of December the 15th, did you happen to be in the corner of 47th Street and 8th Avenue? How did your mom there? You know what? Let's just forget this. Let's just settle this. I don't know what he's talking about. 911 dispatcher. Hello, 911. Hey, your mom. What? Hello, poison control. Hey, your mom. My child just drank strontium. Hey, your mom. My man. What? I was just yodeling. Yodeling might be good. I don't mock them. I love these people. Oh, remember Annie? Remember the old lady in the coat room? She would turn and go, ha! She would just turn around, and I don't know what she would do. Like she'd walk over to you and she'd kind of waddle on up, and you'd say, yeah, and then she'd like tap you on the shoulder and go, ha! That was it. That's all. Nice lady. I don't know, but I love these people. And whenever I hear it, I say, oh. And by the way, a couple of things. Number one, please do not talk about their accent. They don't have an accent. You have an accent. Number one. Number two, do not use the word brogue. Some take great offense. I think was it Princess Margaret or Anne or somebody? A brogue is a shoe. And some people said, you speak like you have a shoe in your mouth or something. You say, no, it's not a brogue. Don't do that. Next, they don't care that your grandfather was a Callahan from Donegal. They don't care. And they do not recognize you as being Irish. So if somebody says, I'll tell you what, I'm an American, you say, where are you born? Buncrana. You're an American. My grandfather was from Cincinnati. Okay. Did you ever come to this country? No. But I'm an American. Now you would say to yourself, you don't know what you're talking about. But my grandfather, I don't care about your grandfather. What are you talking about? But yet, when you meet Irish people, you're Irish. And they look at you like, why do I have to put up with this? It drives me nuts. Where did you ever think? And I've got friends of mine here, I'm Italian. Okay, all right. You know what? Maybe, sort of. They're Italian-American. They're from the Bronx, Staten Island, and they've never been to Italy. They can't speak it, or they speak an Italian that's so, I don't even know what it is. Okay, I'm an American. I'm an American, and I'm not trying to be corny about it, but it's all I know. And I love everybody's version of where they're from. I love especially your food. Have you ever had Ethiopian food? Right down the street from us. We have this, it's interesting. I don't want to have it every day, but it's interesting. Persian, Iranian, the rice. I love it. I love and appreciate cultures. And there is an incredible, the African food and Moroccan, and then we get into Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern is just one. Okay, fine. I'm an American. That's it. That's all I know. And here's the thing. When somebody, I was going to tell you. So as we're sitting around one time, this one guy, he was doing the test for his nationality, his citizenship test. So we had the book, and we were quizzing him. He was the bartender. We're sitting there talking to him. And I said, before you answer, let me read the question. Let's see if anybody else can answer it. Nobody. Of course, they had their load on. They weren't paying attention. But the number of, I'm thinking, Americans don't have to answer questions like, how many congressmen are there, or how many states, how many original colonies there were. They don't know. You're presumed to know this. But the people who come to this country, the people who have to take that test, anybody who has to take an affirmative step to learn, they know more about history than we do. But we made it very, very clear. When he came in, everybody was crying. He was so proud. He was an American citizen. He of course, he has his Irish lineage, and of course he is. I don't know if he has dual citizenship. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's an American. And he went through the testing, and he went through this, and he got the light, and we had a big party. Can you imagine a party? Any excuse to party, anything. Today's Tuesday. Hey, you're Monday. It was beautiful, and I learned more about being an American from him. I learned more about the notion of patriotism growing up with Cubans. I learned more about liberty and tyranny and things as a kid from my friends whose parents came here from Cuba. I didn't know what this meant, but the Monroe Doctrine I heard about when I was like little, before they even taught us. I learned about America from foreigners. I learned what it meant to be an American by listening to people who came here and loved this country, who loved this country, and still love it. Isn't that interesting? It's just like we learned about blues and Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf from Brits who came here and reintroduced us to our music, the great blues music. We did this. And this is something. We don't ever forget something. We are a heterogeneous group. Nobody has ever said, nobody has ever suggested for a moment that there's something other, well, you've got to be born here. That's one way. But so many people that I knew went through the process and proudly became citizens, and they are as hardcore American as anything else. Do not confuse the fundamentals with what people say. That's all. I think you know what I'm talking about. Huh? Ah? All right, my friends. Now, I've been rather late with this one. Did you know, have you signed up for the new YouTube channel? Have you? Have you done that one? Right there. There's the link at Lionel Legal. I did one the other. Oh, people are saying, what? Because I'm balanced. I want you to know it's purely 100% legal. Legal, constitutional, legal issues and the like, which I want you to be aware of. Now, another thing too is, I'm going to go through very quickly because I took a little bit longer, which is fine. But I want you to do me a favor and please honor the great people who support us. First is our dear friends, our wonderful friends, the great from My Patriot Supply, preparewithlionel.com. Right now, special 3-month emergency food kit and an Alexa Pure Pro water filtration system thrown in for free. Please go to preparewithlionel.com. Look at the inventory. Look at what is available. It is mind-boggling. Next, my dear friends, we're talking about EMP. EMP is an EMP shield, a great company and a great backer of ours. By the way, EMP is an abbreviation. It's an initialism and is not an acronym. It stands for electromagnetic pulse. And find out what you need to know to protect yourself against this. Could be a coronal solar blast that takes out everything. And then, oh my God, our friends at MyPillow, we thank them supporting us. And by the way, I'm not saying, here, go and donate. No. These are products you need. These are critical. MyPillow, use a promo code Lionel and receive a free gift. Tautological, to be sure, but nonetheless. And also, my dear friends, I worry about your health and I worry about everything. And that's why, if you want to at least start using everything you can possibly get to keep not just your immune system, but everything working right, your Z-Stack, 15% off for this wonderful. Tell me one thing wrong with a combination of vitamin C, zinc, D3, which is not even a vitamin, it's a hormone, which is vitamin D is the most incredible. I take that every single day of my life. Every day. I don't care where you live. I don't care about the sun. No. And quercetin, flavonoids. Now, I eat more greens than you do. Believe me. I eat more greens on any day, and I eat more vegetables and fruits with colored things and, these little tints and the colored hues that make the skin of the tomato or the strawberry. That is what is important. This wonderful coloration pigmentations are actually what inures to your benefit later on. Do yourself a favor for the love of God. All right? It's only your health. Z-Stack, they're our sponsors, and we thank them for that. So, my friends, again, I go through these incredible issues of balancing the idea of what indeed is tradition. Mark Twain says, the less there is to justify a traditional custom, the harder it is to get rid of it. D.H. Lawrence, wonderful quotes, beautiful thoughts about tradition, about doing things. And tradition and superstition. I'm telling you right now, I still don't know how that thing works. And I am still not... Tradition that is symbolic, tradition that means something, yes. But I'm not going to be a slave. I'm not going to do it just because. When you put on any news show, you see people sitting on the couch with a green. Hi! Okay. St. Patrick's Day, right? Yeah. Do you know where that comes from? Do you know who St. Patrick was? Well, do you know the history about this? About who he was exactly? The story about Ireland and the snakes and the whole... Do you know anything at all about St. Patrick? St. Patrick is bigger here than in Ireland. Without a doubt. Everybody I've ever known says in their hometown is like, well, it's okay. But here, corned beef, cabbage, soda bread. Those people can endure like you cannot believe. And please, read about their independence. You know, De Valera in 1922 and the partitions and just what this was about. It's fascinating. And when you do read this, remember, if you read of the history, don't take sides. Just understand the sides. That's all. So today, does anybody have any plans for, may I ask, you fine folks here, what are your... Yes, paddy wagons was indeed today's a wonderful day. Paddy wagons, of course, is we were saying, I was just thinking, my mind took off into 4 or 5 different directions. That was also kind of a disparaging. The Irish went through a lot. You know, this lace curtain shanty, you know. The Kennedys went through. The Kennedy family. I mean, they're even in Boston. But what is everyone doing today? Are you having green beer? Or are they dyeing the water green? You know? Is that it? I never understood that. And what you can do too is you can look at YouTube and just listen. You can go on tours just to hear, just to visit in terms of it. Oh, by the way, the music. I mentioned the chorus, the guitars, when the chieftains, and even, was it Dan Tyminski played this? I think Dan Tyminski played with a group. Very country. Well, put it this way. Our country takes from the Gaelic, when the chieftains, Dan Tyminski, Jerry Douglas, well, they didn't have a dobro, but when you hear these folks play, when the pin whistle and that drum and I remember one time I remember when I was sitting in, there was a group, and I'm watching them. I said, I can keep up with this. Anyway, they were doing some Irish stuff, and I said, do you know any bluegrass? Any kind of, can we twang this up a little bit? You know, the immaculate twang of Mother Bluegrass. And no, I said, and they were legit players. So we're in this back room of this bar playing. I said, well, play it like this. So I would take what they were playing. I was watching it. It's very simple progression. I said, but let's do it like this. And I countrified it, made it gut bucket, and they loved it. And they were doing, little Bill Monroe, little riffs and things like that. But it was the same. And I said, you see what happened? Where did we get this from? This is from Appalachian. This was Bill Monroe. This is the mountains. And I love the way music all blends in together. And all of it. It's just, it's beautiful to hear this. And when you're playing with somebody and you're playing along with them, and especially any kind of guitar playing, I kind of dig. And then you can look at some marimba band playing Cielito Lindo, and you have the guitarrón, and you have 4 or 5 different types of stringed instruments. The strings, from the bouzoukis to the Chinese playing these malleted types of things. It's music. So remember, what brings everybody together is food and music. That's the thing that is interesting. When you hear, have you ever gotten into this tabla percussion Indian? Oh my God, what is that? Never heard that. Completely different. The whole notion of bagpipes and the drone. What do you think the drone is? The drone with dulcimers? Oh, don't get me started. When I start going into the music ramble, my brain switches and I just start seeing it all in this beautiful mosaic. It's very hard to explain, but I see it all blending together beautifully. If people, how about Shane McGowan, the Pogues, whiskey in the jar, I hear that in my brain. But that sound. Oh, it's called, I know I'm not saying it. Bodran. How about the wonderful names like trying to spell when I never knew, but they say S-H-O Fada, I Fada. Say Fada. What are you, Alan Sherman? What's this? The Fada and the names, wonderful, and Michael, Mihal, Patrick, love it. So anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day. And as my dear late friend would say, this one there for God's sake. They come there's one day, everybody come together at the Mickey, don't drink too much and get pissed at the Mickey. And always end with a laugh where people will nervously, have a great and a glorious and a beautiful day. Thank you. We appreciate you immensely. Don't forget the new channel. Don't forget the new, check it out. Be a Lionel Legal. Subscribe now. I'm going to tell you right now, subscribe now. I want to hear that. You've got to subscribe because it's a separate angle. It's a separate take. It's a separate, what's the word? Just a completely different focus on everything which is kind of legal, but constitutional, and I love it. All right? So that's the new one. All right, my dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you and yours. Until tomorrow, Mrs. L and I wish you a great and a glorious day. And don't forget these final words, this valedictory. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.